Hi, my name is Iridian, and today's an exciting day for us here at the John Howard Society of Canada. We're unveiling an app called Home by John Howard Society of Canada. It's available on the App Store at Apple and also at Google Play, and you can download it now. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the app, but before I do so, I'd also like to tell you about how we developed this app and why it's a necessity for prisoners. The first thing that most prisoners coming out into the community find out very quickly is that going from living in your bathroom, which is the only word that I have for a small room with a toilet in it, to living out here in the community is the change of pace and all the data going into your brain, especially is that the case through smartphones. I learned this by talking to prisoners who were coming back into the institutions on revocations and suspensions for their paroles. They told me about smartphones. I'd never seen one. Matter of fact, I'd never been on the internet. When I went to prison 30 years ago, email didn't even exist. So how did a guy like me end up getting involved in app development? Turns out that we have a lot of friends at the John Howard Society of Canada that are very interested in helping prisoners and others to be able to integrate and reintegrate in Canadian society. And the federal government of Canada is also very interested in successful reintegration so that it can lower the amount of recidivism happening in the community for guys who get out of prison and ladies who get out of prison and find themselves in a tough fix. So we decided that we would develop an app that's the first of its kind anywhere in North America that we're aware of, an app that's designed not to monitor you, not to be a digital parole officer in your pocket, but to be a wellness coach, to be a support mechanism, which is what the John Howard Society of Canada has been doing for a long time. Together with our partners from Public Safety and the John Howard Society of British Columbia and the North Pines Foundation and the COVID Recovery Fund, we were able to compile a team of thinkers and people of lived experience who are currently in the community and talk about what would be a good tool to have in your pocket, in your phone, for a parolee just coming out and for other parolees who've been out for a while. And we also wanted to develop an app that was growth oriented. We wanted our clients and our case managers and other participants in the app experience to be able to make this app grow. It wasn't going to be static. And so we've developed this app with that in mind. Here, let me show you how it works. So the first thing that you need to know about the Home app is that it can only be obtained from either the App Store or from Google Play. And so because this is an Android device, I'm going to upload it from the Play Store. And if I go into Google Play, I've already typed in John Howard Society. So you type that in and you go looking for the app, and there it is. And Home, John Howard Society, tap on that, and you're going to now do an install. And we'll wait while the process happens. It's very quick. So as you can see, it's very quick to upload the app, and then we're going to open it, and we go through the onboarding process, a series of screens that explain to you what the app does and how it can be a benefit to you. But now we're going to personalize it. Remember I told you earlier, this is an app that's going to serve you, not the other way around. So first of all, identify as male because I am, and my first name, Iridian. Last name, Grenada. And I'm going to throw a little capital on there just because I can. My phone number, and I encourage you to get a hold of me if you need to, is at the John Howard Society of Canada because I want to hear how this app is working for you. Or you can email me at that account. Next, I am a John Howard Society member, but I'm also a client. But even if you aren't, you can use this app. We encourage everyone to give it a try. Now, because the pilot project is only happening in British Columbia at this time, I'm going to choose British Columbia, and I'm going to put my city in there, Vancouver. And It now wants to know, what was my release date from prison? We recognize that not everyone who's using this app has been released from prison. Some of the clients of John Howard Society have not yet gone to prison, and we hope that they don't. But you can put the date that you download the app, or even the date before it. In my particular case, because I was released from prison, I'm going to put the time that happened in my life and put it in. And because my end of my sentence date in my particular case has no legal end to it, I'm going to choose that. Now, the terms and use that you agree to, I really want you to read this, because we've done a lot of work through our legal department to ensure that your rights are protected and clearly identified to you. And then I'm going to go back and agree, and I'm going to submit this application to use the app to the folks at the John Howard Society for their review. And I will hear back from them. If I choose to enable notifications on my phone, it will let me know when they have approved me. And I'm sure they're going to do this very quickly. So now I'm just going to go and check, and look at that. I have been approved for the Home app, and welcome, Iridian Grenada, April 1st, not April Fools. And you can see that there's a encouraging comment there for you to consider for the day. And every time you open the app, there will be a different quote there to stimulate you to think positively. Now, this first page that we have here is set up as the most important page on the app, because when you open this app, there is a good chance that you're going to want to call for support immediately. And we don't want you to have to thumb through your contacts, deciding who you're going to call. We're going to help you to set that up right off the bat. Notice it calls it emergency contacts, because when you open this app, quite often you will be in a situation where you're stressed out, and we want you to rely on this tool to help you to get through that process. So you're going to set up your emergency contacts, and I've already gone and inserted a couple of them. One is a family friend of mine named James, who I call and talk to when I'm feeling stressed out. Another one is a mental health liaison named Alana, who is a professional and a criminologist and a really decent person. And I call her when I'm stressed out or want to talk about my strategy. But if you want to add more contacts, you can see that I put different types of contact types in here, whether it's your native elder or a spiritual counselor. Maybe it's a psychologist or your AANA sponsor. Why don't we put in someone from the John Howard Society of Canada, and we can put in me, Iridian. And remember my contact phone number, 672-971-0820. You can call me if you need to get a hold of me. It would be my pleasure to be able to talk to you. Oops, throw a 0 in, add that. So let me show you how this works now, because this thing is designed so that when you call for support, you push this button. Remember, you go into your app, the very first screen that's there is call for support, and right away, the person that I call most is going to be there on my screen. Let's call James and see if he's going to help me out. Put him on speaker.
Please leave your message after the tone.
Oh, James isn't home. So that's no good to me. I'm just going to tap twice and put me back into call for support. I still need help, so who am I going to talk to now? It's going to put me into Iridian, the person that you call the next most on your list. Of course, if I call myself, I'm probably not going to be home. So we'll shut that down. We'll go back again, 2 taps. Nobody home, nobody home. How about third time a charm? It's going to call Alana. And so I can give her a call and reach out. It's got a little bit of a logic to this contacts list in that it knows who you need to talk to because you've already told the app how to serve you. That's going to be very important for you. The next feature of this app has to do with being organized for reintegration. These are your events. Now, currently, there's no real events locally here in British Columbia that we've inputted because you're going to help us to put that in there. But there are a number of agencies that are commonly known agencies that many parolees and folks that are on conditional release or trying to reintegrate or even trying not to go to prison
utilize all the time. Alcoholics Anonymous, the Seventh Step organization here in British Columbia. Downtown East Side Association is something that's important for Vancouver. Drug and alcohol counseling, emergency shelters. Maybe you're in a situation where you're being taken out of a halfway house because your sentence is finished and you need assistance. Now, there are no current events, but the regular events can put you into emergency shelters and year-round shelters. Let's register with them. And you can see they put us into the Lookout Housing and Health Society here in Vancouver, which is an organization that does much to help people who need assistance in terms of finding housing. These kinds of features are in the app under the section Get Organized. And then there will also be, as they arrive, things here in the app that will be about local events that are happening to support you in your process. Merge is another thing that is going to be helpful to you because it's all about employment opportunities. And we're going to be working with our John Howard partners and other partners in the criminal justice system to be able to try and track down jobs that are going to be easy for you to be able to apply for. Things that are going to be not afraid of your criminal record or your background and very interested in helping you to move forward. In the meantime, we've put some of the agencies here in the British Columbia area that are well known for helping people in difficult situations. One of them is Work Gear. So when you go to Work Gear, they put you right into its website. And what Work Gear does here in British Columbia is provides free gear for men and women who are going into construction and other agencies, work clothes and things that you need to be able to accomplish being able to work in that sector. Let's go back. The next feature, besides Merge, is one that you are going to very strongly be participating in. This is the section called Educate. And these are your articles. We want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. I want to hear phone calls from you. I want to hear emails from you about articles that you think would fit very good in the app. Currently, I've put some onboarding articles in there about how to use the app and what the different sections you do. And there are sections in here, advice from folks who are already released into the community, Indigenous teachings, and other introductions. So for instance, if we go to Indigenous teachings, we've got one demonstration app in here from an elder in Ontario. And although my sound isn't working on that for the moment, the point is easily made. I've also got apps in here to help folks that are directly coming out into the community, and I call those the plan.
Hello again, friend. Another quick tip on how to move forward. In order to figure out where you're going, you have to first figure out where you are. So you need to find a safe place where you can sit and gather your thoughts. Remember where you just came from? Pretty safe place was the library. Turns out...
So it is our intention to fill that entire education section in the app with videos and articles that are going to support the reintegration process and help people to be able to help each other. What do I mean by that? What I mean is that the more you use the app, the more information you provide to the John Howard Society about what's working for you, you will be able to help those who come after you. And that's how this app is designed. It's an app to help you, help yourself, and help others.
So as you can see from what I've shown here on the app so far, this is an app that's very different from apps that are being used around the world to support parolees. When we took a look at apps in the United States and Europe, what we found is that those were digital devices that were mostly used to control and monitor parolees. In some cases, the information gathered from them was being used to return them to prison. That's not what this app is. At the John Howard Society of Canada, we firmly believe that the strength of your reintegration, the positive effect that you're going to have in the community, is going to be based upon your ability to monitor and control this app, not the other way around. We want you to use this app to monitor and in many ways control who it is that you let into your community. And we'd like you to start by letting us into your community. To be clear, this is not our mountain to climb. You've already done a tremendous amount of work to get to where you are so that you can use this app. But now we want to walk next to you, kind of like a Sherpa walks next to a guy who's climbing a mountain. We've been up this mountain before. I'm going ahead of you. That's why my email is here on the screen below. I want you to contact me. The pilot project for this app is only occurring at this time in British Columbia, in the Pacific region. But as this app continues to develop, as the folks that use it, you, continue to demonstrate its worth, it will grow. You will be part of the development team that makes this a stronger tool for those coming behind you. You'll be able to heal your own reintegration by helping those coming after you. And as such, on behalf of the John Howard Society of Canada and the John Howard Society of British Columbia, it is my tremendous privilege to welcome you home.